Here we come to know that there is an island in the Pacific Ocean, where the entire population is made up of women, and not a single man exists. Many people call it Virgin Island, and legends tell of a magical bee that the women there possess. This bee is said to make their lifespan 10 times longer than that of a normal man, meaning they can live much, much longer. These strange tales were unlike anything anyone had ever heard, and they sparked an irresistible curiosity in all who heard them. Many tried to find the island, but its exact location remained a mystery. Those who ventured there were never seen again. Then we are introduced to a powerful businessman, Mr. Song, who desired immortality above all else. He was determined to find this mysterious island by any means necessary. He instructed his men to search relentlessly, but despite their efforts, they came up empty-handed. Enter V, a character who caught wind of the news that Mr. Song was on the hunt for Virgin Island, and that his research was yielding results. V took a deep interest in this, for he knew something others didn't. There were no men left on the island. He could go there freely, but all who had gone before him had never returned, save for one man. That man had been a renowned researcher who set out for Virgin Island many years ago, but never came back. His name was Lee, and he was Vaughn's father. Vaughn knew deep down that his father was somewhere on that island, or perhaps had chosen to stay there, captivated by the island's beauty and its mysterious women. These thoughts tormented Vaughn, and he made up his mind. He would go to the island and find his father. Vaughn joined Mr. Song's search party and boarded a boat assigned to him. It was there he met his navigator, Youngview, a recent graduate of a Navy institute with expert knowledge of navigation. With Young's help, they set out on their journey. At first, Vaughn was full of hope. He was about to find his father. But as the weeks dragged on, their hope dwindled. 2 months passed, and still no sign of the island. Their water supply was running low, and morale was plummeting. Then, one day, Vaughn's gaze fell upon Sim Island, the place they had been searching for. Excitement rushed through him. But as they drew closer, the waves began to rise, towering above the boat, threatening to prevent them from reaching the shore. With no other choice, they decided to prepare themselves and then plunged into the water, swimming towards the island. The waves were relentless, pulling them in and tossing them onto the shore. Both Vaughn and Young were knocked unconscious. When Vaughn finally came to, he found himself surrounded by a group of women, all of whom seemed intent on killing him. It was then that he realized he had reached Virgin Island. He had found it, but at what cost? The women took them to their village, where they were interrogated. Vaughn felt something wasn't right. He suspected they were only pretending. Desperate, he demanded they release him, but the situation took a terrifying turn. One of the women killed a man and threw his body at their feet. With that, Vaughn and Young were thrown into a wooden cage, imprisoned. A leader of an unknown species, who seemed to oversee everything, approached them. "How did you reach here?" the leader asked. "No one has come here in the last 10 years, and no one knows the exact location of this place." In a moment of bold curiosity, Young asked, "Are you all immortal? Do you never die?" To their shock, the women had lived there for over 100 years. That night, Young took out a knife and began cutting through the cage, managing to free both of them. They made a plan to escape and ventured into the forest. However, they were unaware that the real danger lurked within. The women had set a trap. As Young ventured deeper into the woods, he unknowingly fell into a pit. Arrows rained down on him, striking his back and finally his head. Coconuts fell from the trees, knocking him unconscious. Meanwhile, Vaughn hid in a nearby hut. It was here that he saw a woman named Mun John, the sister of the leader. It was her bathing area, and she began to bathe. Vaughn, desperate to escape, attempted to flee, but a small girl saw him and screamed. The entire village of women converged on him, chasing him down. Despite his best efforts, Vaughn was captured, knocked unconscious, and brought before their leader. The women were furious, believing Vaughn had entered the hut to spy on Mun John. They were livid. Just then, Young appeared, battered and broken. The leader, enraged, declared, "Both of you will die. We will marinate you, and then we will eat you." Then she asked, "What happened to you? Why did you come to this island?" Now Vaughn reveals that he is searching for his father, who came to the island many years ago and never returned. The leader of the women tells him that she has met his father, but she too is searching for him. His father is on the island, but she warns Vaughn. If she finds him, she will kill him. Both Vaughn and Young are then taken for further processing and marinated, so the women can feast on them. As they begin to prepare their gruesome meal, a woman runs into the village, shouting that one of their own, Changhua has drowned in the river. The women abandon their task and rush to the water to save her. This creates an unexpected opportunity for Vaughn and Young to escape. They burn the ropes that bind them and free themselves. Determined, they head for the middle path. But as they do, they see the women desperately searching for Changhua, who remains missing. Young, being a skilled swimmer, decides to help. Both men dive into the river, and after a tense search, they manage to find Changhua. Young performs CPR, and after a few moments, she regains consciousness. Grateful for her rescue, Changhua develops a fondness for Young and pleads with the leader not to harm them, insisting they are good people. But there is a serious problem. While escaping, Young had carelessly left the burning wood near a sacred tree, a source of life for the women. The fire has caused the tree to burn, weakening it, and the women's source of longevity begins to die. In rage, the leader captures them again, intending to kill them. However, Changhua speaks up, urging the leader to show mercy. Eventually, the leader relents, telling them they must restore the tree and bring it back to life within 3 months. Failure will result in their deaths. With no other choice, Vaughn and Young begin working on the tree the very next day. Over time, they grow closer to the women, with Vaughn using his technology to help them hunt and solve problems. What began as an escape turns into a life they begin to enjoy. One night, the villagers gather around a fire, celebrating and laughing. Vaughn is surrounded by several women, but his attention is drawn to Mun, dancing alone in the corner. His gaze lingers on her, and soon he walks over, strikes up a conversation, and leads her to the beach. There, a deeper connection begins to form between them, one that could blossom into something more. Mun reveals to Vaughn that many years ago, her people, a mystical witch-like species, lived close to nature, granting them the ability to live for centuries. But as outsiders learned of their secret, they began to attack. Before the leader dies, she must pass on the seed to the most responsible woman in the tribe. Their current leader had buried the seed, and that act had caused the tree to weaken, halting the emergence of more bees. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Vaughn and Young decide that no one else can know this secret. They plan to destroy the GPS so Mr. Song can't track them. However, before they can break the device, Mr. Song silently arrives with his men, having already tracked their location. Realizing the danger, Vaughn and Young warn the women of the impending attack. But it's too late. Mr. Song and his men arrive, and he sends some ahead to scout. Thanks to Vaughn's warning, the women trick the men into drinking alcohol, knocking them unconscious. But Mr. Song doesn't fall for it. He arrives with more men and storms the village. He demands the seed from the women, believing it will grant him immortality. The leader tries to fight back, throwing him into the forest, where she kills one of his men. The rest scatter into the jungle. However, Mr. Song had anticipated this move. He had planted a time bomb on Vaughn's body, ensuring he couldn't escape. The group reaches a beach, where Vaughn and Mr. Song argue. As the confrontation escalates, the leader and the other women arrive to help Vaughn, but by then the bomb is set to explode in just 30 seconds. Vaughn realizes there is nothing he can do to stop it. He bolts toward the river, knowing that if he stays, everyone else will perish. In that moment, Vaughn understands. His father must have made the same sacrifice to protect the island and preserve its delicate balance between nature and the tribe. The women and Young are left in disbelief and devastation, unable to comprehend the loss. And just like that, the story ends. Viewers, if you enjoyed this tale, be sure to join our channel. We always bring you stories like this, so don't forget to subscribe for more. Until next time, see you in the next story.